I believe that if you have the right people in your team, you don't need to handle them. You need to grow them. Handling people sounds like you need to whip them to shape or put them in place. If you have those kinds of people, they're probably the wrong people and they become a source of frustration rather than a source of joy to you.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Leadership Stack Podcast, the podcast for entrepreneurs by entrepreneurs to increase your leadership, teamwork, and profits. This is your host, Angelyn Si, aka Mr. CEO at 22.
Hello, and good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. We have a very special guest, very special not just to you guys here, but to me as well. She's actually my wife. Her name is Apple, and she's going to be here helping me to answer the questions tonight. We have a lot of questions about managing people remotely, leading people. So she is the heart of SEO Hacker, and she is really good with dealing with people. Yes, welcome to the show, darling.
And
There's no
hello,
argument
everyone.
there.
Happy to be here.
Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and answer some of the first questions. We have one from Erica. Do you have any tips on how to build an effective team? Team that does not need supervision and consistently delivers great results. Wouldn't we all want to have that kind of team?
First off, thank you, Erica, for your question. I believe it first applies to who do you let in your team. So it's very important how you filter the good from the rotten eggs out there. Secondly, also is, well, I do this quite often before I allow one team member to continue on the process of being hired. I pray for this person first if he or she is really a good fit for the company. I look at three C's, that's chemistry, competence, and culture. So with these three, if it's a good fit, then he or she gets to the next stage or next phase.
You have to build it from zero, meaning you hire them one by one. And when you hire, you have to make sure that the people you hire are the people you want. They're self motivated, they have their own initiative to get stuff done, they have initiative to improve things, innovate, improve the process, deliver results. These are things that a lot of business owners loves to hear because there are people naman who are the wrong kinds of hire. It's either you hired them and they're the wrong fit or they're not in the right position. They're not in the right place in the bus. And what they're doing is something that drains them instead of energizes them. And if they are drained, then you will have team full of people who are slow moving or non moving. They become a source of frustration rather than a source of joy. So you have to build that kind of team one by one. That's my answer to you. And I have a lot of episodes about how to hire the right people. Our second question is from Cluster. How do you make your employees listen to you and how do you handle them effectively?
I believe in the verse, do to others what you want others to do unto you. So if you would like to be listened to, you first have to listen. Listen to other people. And you don't just listen to hear, you have to listen to understand. And when you listen to understand, you don't just listen to the words they say, you also have to listen to their eyes, basically. So you try to understand what they're trying to say with their body language. How do we handle them effectively? Yeah, we have a platform, we call it Teamster. We use it to ask questions to our team weekly and actually bi-weekly, no? Yeah, so we have a end of the week feedback form and another feedback form every payday. So that's yeah, twice a month. And we ask them how we can improve as a management. What are things that we could further enhance for their jobs or for their work? What are their suggestions for us? Some things like that. I'm not sure if Sean already shared this in previous podcasts. The management team have weekly meetings with our team. So we keep them up to date as to what's happening with the team, what's new. So our goals for the month, our goals for the next month, some things like this. That way everything is clear and the goals are set for the team to follow through. Basically, I think that's my answer.
For me, it's all about influence. People will not listen to you if you don't have any influence in their lives. So the first stage of influence, or the first stage of leadership, because leadership is influence, influence has to do a lot with leadership. The first step or the first level is position. When you have position, you can throw your weight around and people have to listen to you. They have to follow you because you hold the title. That is the lowest level, because as soon as you lose that position or that title, people just stop listening to you, stop mattering to them. The second one is relationship. When you have good relationship with your people, they will listen to you because they know you care about them and they get along with you. If you can't get along with them, they won't go along with you on the marathon or on the long haul. And businesses, we're running marathons. We don't see the man running a business for a year or two and then that's it. We close shop or we sell it. Usually we run it for a decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, or more. The next one would be production. This is all according to Dr. John Maxwell, by the way. These are not invented by me. And production is all about you as the leader producing a lot of results, having output, closing deals, or having a lot of innovations installed and running, having a lot of things going on in your life. And that attracts people. That allows people to give you more influence over them. And that's the third level. The fourth level of leadership is who you are as a person. So if you're a leader, people know you, what you stand for, you're bigger than life, your significance, then people follow you because of who you are. So there are different ways to make or to allow people to listen to you, and you get to choose which ones you want to use more. Some people use position, we see a lot of that. Some people use relationship. A lot of the good leaders we have use production, and then very rarely do we see people transcending from production to significance or to who you are as a person. But I think that is personally how I do it. That's how, at least how I see I do it, is through leadership. How do you handle people effectively? I believe that if you have the right people in your team, you don't need to handle them. You need to grow them. Handling people sounds like you need to like whip them to shape or put them in place. If you have those kinds of people, they're probably the wrong people and they become a source of frustration rather than a source of joy to you. And my suggestion would be, if they're really the wrong fit and you did not goof off in leading them, you weren't an absentee father or mother in your leadership to them, then you probably just have the wrong person. Or they may have grown out of it, they may have moved on mentally in their lives. Whatever it is, if they're the wrong person, you have to shake hands and part ways in a very nice way. That's my take on it. So, very different approach between me and Apple there, but I hope you got value out of that.
Oh, hey, and since you're here, can you do me a favor? Can you hit on the subscribe button and hit the bell button and select all notifications so that whenever we have a new video, you're going to be the first one to know. Until then, keep leading.
Seek counsel. Get counseling, because that coach, that consultant can take a look at different angles that you may not be seeing to help quickly patch that crack, to plug that hole, to retain some of that money, to be able to fill that vase with water without having any leaks. If one thinks they can do it by themselves, you will be a lonely person on a ship at the bottom of the ocean.